They say success is the best revenge. Heard they were sleeping again, say it no more.
If you have a temperament that when others are fearful, you're going to get scared yourself, you know, you are not going to make a lot of money in securities over time in all probability. People really, if they didn't look at quotations, but of course the whole world is urging them to look at quotations, and more than that, do something based on small changes in quotations. But if you didn't, think how much more rational, we've talked about it before, but think how much more rational investing in a farm is than the way many people buy stocks. If you buy a farm, do you get a quote next week? Do you get a quote next month? If you buy an apartment house, do you get a quote next week or month? No, you look at the apartment house or the farm and you say, I expected it to produce so many bushels of soybeans and corn, and if it does that, it meets my expectations. If they buy a stock and they think if it goes up, it's wonderful, and if it goes down, it's bad. We think just the opposite. When it goes down, we love it because we'll buy more, and if it goes up, it kills us to buy more. Ben Graham wrote about it. It's been explained. But if you can't get yourself in that mental attitude, you're going to be scared whenever everybody else is scared. And expect somebody else to tell you when to buy and therefore get your courage back up or something. You know, I could get this fellow's courage up substantially by saying this is a wonderful time to buy. And then a week from now, he'd run into somebody else that tells him the world is coming.
Crypto YouTube. How's it going? Are we greedy yet? Crypto Stud back with another banger. Welcome to the crypto universe where possibilities sparkle like stars. With the belief that God is great, God is good, we embark on this exciting journey through blockchain and cryptocurrency. Carry hope and positivity as we navigate this dynamic world together. Whether in sunlight or seeking a beacon at night, may our heart be filled with peace, love, and the promise of prosperity. Join me on my channel as we unlock crypto mysteries with curiosity and bold hearts. Here's to success, understanding, and a touch of magic on our path. May your days shine bright, your spirit be light, and your investments flourish. Now, let's dive into today's crypto adventure. What a wild ride these last couple of days. Leading into my last video, into the weekend, talks of recession, massive talks of recessions, Japan. I mean, there's just so much stuff we could unravel and go through. And we're going to kind of just digest a bit of what happened a couple previous days before today. There is somewhat of a sentiment. Most of these stocks kind of did do somewhat of a rally. At least 50% of the losses that we made have been gained back. So, markets do cycle. But at the same time, when Bitcoin's sitting at $70,000 and you wish that prices were lower, and now you have lower prices, what do you do? That is the biggest question. It's a psychological thing, You look at the charts, you find out what the charts are saying, but at the end of the day, when you have a 25 to 30% drop, and you've been questioning why you didn't buy more when we're at 70,000, will you have that same question when we're at 70,000 again, and you wondered why you didn't buy more? The trend is still your friend, right? It's still there. There's still somewhat of a trend for us. We're going to digest exactly what we have left of this trend, of this bull market trend that we have had. It's running out of steam. It's crazy. But we're going to see if we can digest the charts and see what's there. And hopefully we can get some good crypto pump going, some good bullish sentiment for us. The last time that I had bullish propaganda, we rose back up to 70,000. So here I am again, giving you some bullish propaganda. Will this also be the same charm as the last time? Let's jump into the charts. I do just want to give a big shout out to all the subscribers, likes, comments. We have hit 30,000. I am doing a big promotion for this, 35% off. The promo code is in the description. And also, anyone who does purchase a membership with us will be getting merchandise sent to them. I'm going to be revealing that later next week. So that purchase will go towards also getting free merchandise from us here at Market Experts. FYI, I'm also going to be giving away merchandise as well. So do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be giving out probably 5 to 10 items of free merchandise towards the end of the month based on random videos, on comments. You can't really tell who likes the video, so make sure you comment, you like, you subscribe, and then you might be a lucky winner for the merchandise that I will be giving away. I will be revealing that probably next week, and then that will be live on the site as well. So awesome time. Thank you for the 30,000 subs. If you purchase any membership with us, you will automatically get sent a merchandise item once that is revealed. So I'm still working on getting that to myself to just test the quality to make sure that it's good enough to send out to others. So as that kind of transitions for me, I just want to give a big shout out and thank you to everybody. So if you do subscribe and become a member with us from within the website, you will get free merchandise from me. So that's exciting news. I haven't quite decided what will be the free item yet. It's really going to be, I did get a few items sent to me, so it's really dependent on which one I think has the best quality and looks the best and just represents our group the best. And then, as you grow with us and become part of our family, hopefully you will look to get other merchandise and show off one of the best trade groups out there. Anyways, on another note, kind of housekeeping items, there is a Nexus update out. I haven't quite pushed the update for it, so I will probably do that later in this video. This video is kind of later as I'm finishing that up with TradingView. They finally approved it. I just have to do a couple strings and move a couple things, and then that will be launched in public for everybody that has access to the indicators. These are paid indicators, private indicators that I've developed for years on end. Anyways, So before we do make this video any longer than it is, just one more thank you for subbing to me. I really appreciate that. Thank you for liking, commenting, you know, the community posts, commenting on those, liking that. It really means the world to me. You know, something so small, something free that can be done freely, and just takes a little bit of time out of your day is really appreciated to me. And I just want everybody to know that. So without further ado, I'm not going to do any news for this one. I am going to get into kind of what happened on Monday. It's been a pretty wild ride for us. You know, it was kind of, for me, last week in my last video, I spoke about us going lower. I was really looking for us. You know, we pretty much got the test over here on this area, back up to this area, came on here, bounced here, got the test up here again, and then pretty much fell down over to this area that I spoke about in my last video. And then we further fell down because of all the news and everything that happened with that. But, you know, I had looked for us to get back to weekly P, but at the time I was just really uncertain with that. I knew we were going to go down lower, but I just didn't, you know, I was expecting us to get a swing fail pattern over here in this area and then make our move down low. And that actually never happened for us. So unfortunately, we never did get that position. So I didn't quite take a very large safe position. It just wasn't in my rules to take. I did take a position right here once we broke down of 60,000 and came back up, kind of consolidated here before going back lower. This was just a very weak bounce. This was a very key level for me, in my trading, and we pretty much broke down of it, and then that kind of justified me taking a short position and taking it down. Also, you know, with the recession fears going on and S&P was just bombing at the time that this was kind of consolidating, I really didn't see anything bullish for me to take that position other than taking a short. So overall, you know, we were up in this area looking for lowers. We got lowers. You know, if you remember in my last, not my last video, the video before last, I was speaking at this time right here looking for lower. And we really did get lower, and it's hard to, you know, sit there and say, yeah, this is going lower, this is very bearish, because I do want Bitcoin to do well, but at the same time, you have to trade the charts, you have to trade what's in front of you, and you have to be psychologically sound to take these trades, and kind of just get rid of the noise in the background and just see what you see on the chart. Now, with that, if you go into juxtapose and reasons why we went lower, you know, this is just pointing down. It's looking really, just looking dread awful. But before we actually get more into the Bitcoin chart, I do want to jump into the Bitcoin chart a lot quicker than I normally do. There is a lot of good details and a lot of good info here, and I just kind of want to digest that. I do kind of want to explain, I found this really good explanation of like what kind of happened on Monday, or, you know, futures market. Japan market was open a bit earlier than us, so they kind of had a melting effect before even the markets, our traditional markets, opened up. And once, you know, when futures opened up for our traditional market, it kind of just sunk, and then it further sunk more within the day when the markets actually opened at 9:30. So let me go ahead, I'm just gonna turn down the volume over here on my end, just so I can hear myself think. So anyways, many are speculating that this week's sell-off in the market is due to the Bank of Japan's unexpected large interest rate hike, which led to a massive unwinding of the yen carry trade. So we're going to actually break down what exactly happened. And so first, what is a carry trade? So you can go ahead and look at this as well. You could pause the video and take a look at this as well. I'm just going to briefly go over it. An investor borrows money at a low interest rate in one currency and uses it to invest in assets that offer a higher return in another currency. The goal to profit from the difference between the borrowing cost and the return on the investment. So go ahead and pause this. This is kind of a nice little tidbit right here to take consideration and look at. Let me take off these color corrections real quick. That should make it look a little bit better for you to take a look. So go ahead and pause this video, check this out, just kind of read through this a little bit, and then continue from there. So anyways, investors were borrowing yen, low interest rate, converting yen to USD, high interest rate, investing USD into high yield asset bonds, profit from difference between high yield and low cost of the borrow. I actually like this. This is a perfect screenshot of, a cartoon of this and how it works, which is really great. So, take a moment, pause the video, just take a moment at it and, digest this. It's some really good information and it kind of leadways of why we went down and what actually happened. So since 2016, Japan's interest rates have been rock bottom, actually negative. So this was a carry trade's green pasture until recently, due to the surge of inflation. The Bank of Japan, BOJ, unexpectedly hiked rates twice, first starting in March. Rates spiked to 0.25%. Another cool chart right there for us. So the great unwind broken down. BOJ stopped buying their own bonds, hiked rates. USD versus JPY tanked. Everyone who had short positions borrowing on yen had to cover their trade. Everyone had to dump their tech stocks and equities here to cover their positions in Japan. And it's just ironic that while this was going on, there was fears of recession. We're headed into a recession. We also had bad data, news that came out, events that came out last week that kind of carried into this week. And I even spoke about in my last video about the news articles and the news events, the reports that just weren't great. They were not strong. So massive institutions were involved in these carry trades, and the BOJ balance sheet is vastly larger than the country's GDP at 127.5% of the GDP. The Fed's balance sheet is only 25% of GDP. The BOJ balance sheet has about 5 times more influence on their markets. So this is like a really great chart to see. There's also another awesome chart that one of our members posted, so I'll probably throw that in here as well. This massive unwinding also hit at a pivotal time in our economy. Horrible job reports. So like we were talking about last week, unemployment just hit 4.3%, and we might have waited too long to lower interest rates. Tech earnings have been subpar. As I spoke in my video last Tuesday or Monday, I was speaking, Fed might come out and actually lower rates, but they didn't. They didn't do that. They didn't do anything. And that could possibly hurt us, and that could possibly spiral us into recession. But with that being said, the bias of being bearish at this moment, when prices have dropped as much as they have, is kind of off the table for the moment. I do want to see what Bitcoin does at 60,000 before I really gauge if this is possibly another run at the high, or if I would be looking to close out my longs and looking to short again around the 60,000 mark. So there is a lot of info in this video. We're going to dive into it as quick as we can. I'm going to pause this video and find this one chart I finally found the item that was shared from my trading partner himself. It's M2 global liquidity based on Bitcoin going, price going down, M2 global liquidity going up. Now, this was yesterday, so this is a day late coming out, but same concept. This liquidation event only coming in the next to COVID in 08, 09 is purely leverage driven, wiping all leveraged out. 100% cash. This part of the cycle is not something I'll recommend. Position yourself so you can sleep at night. I did do a purchase of spot Bitcoin yesterday as well. Let's see if I can grab that real quick. 8.4, we're going too far. Pretty much at 50,000 is what I bought it at, which had been something I'd been looking at for a while to buy at. I did another order of this as well, and I was going to do a video last night, but I was messing with TradingView and trying to get this indicator updated and sent out to everybody. It's finally out, and we'll discuss that later in this video as well. But yeah, anyways, I do want to go ahead and get into the charts. We're going to look at S&P, Dow, the dollar, and then we'll look at Bitcoin. But I'm going to be pretty quick with the dollar and the Dow and S&P, just so we can get to Bitcoin quickly and really digest that. So let's look at the dollar first. Check that out. It looks like we got some strength coming in on the dollar right now. Ooh, wow, that looks beautiful. Wow, that looks really good. So we swung fell low right here, and we're coming back up. Got some good strength here. It's looking pretty nice. Dang, nice to see that. This kind of should have reset everything. Well, the weekly's still pointing down, but the day should be pretty much reset. Wow, the day hardly moved, but we do have a star on the day, so we are starting to have a bullish posture with the dollar, which won't bode well for Bitcoin. But we did have such a massive drop. Yeah, we have the bottom out signal. Juxtapost called the bottom out signal perfectly on the dollar. Great to see that. Let's check out the 8 hour. Wow, 6 hours looking really good. 8 hour. 8 hours looking really good too. Wow, it's really bad to see that the dollar strengthened like this with Bitcoin at the bottom of our area right now. It's looking really darn good though. This is pretty much flushed out, cleaned out everything. So it is going to be a bit tough to analyze a lot of these charts because we've had this massive drop and everything kind of just starting to reset from that massive drop. So food for thought. It will take a little bit of time to digest these charts and really get some good momentum and some good plays. But we pretty much reversed all of this drop right here, almost practically back to Fridays. So that's good to see. I did speak about that in the beginning of the video. Seeing this is really great too. We kind of had a liquidity grab at this bottom right here. The weekly is still pointing down. I hate seeing that. That really gives me room to think that we probably don't go up much higher. The day still pointing down, ironically, even though we had such a massive drop. We did have a bottom out signal right here, and volatility is expanded. Did bounce on our MA, but overall, I mean, this is still looking like it could come down, sadly. As sad as it is to say that. 12 hours starting to look pretty good though. 8 hours starting to look good. 6 hours looking darn good. 4 hours looking really good. So other than the 8 hour, 12 hour, I would say that we could possibly make some room up. Now, if you see the volatility expanded on here, Juxtapost called that perfectly, called the bottom out right here. Overall, you know, once this 12 hour kind of turns back up, that'll be great. And the daily starts to turn up. We are in a good area for the daily and the 12 hour to start turning up as well. So these lower time frames can really help pull it up and move it back up to the range, top of the range again. So I would like to see us get back to this 5,400 range and then possibly see us test higher if we do get back to that area. So food for thought on that. It's looking pretty darn good on the lower time frames, and this 12 and day can really start turning over if we do get some more momentum at the bottom of here and move higher up. The weekly still looking really bad, and I hate seeing this look like this, but again, the weekly will take some time to play out, so we still have plenty of time for that to actually transpire. Let's look at the Dow. The Dow had a pretty massive move yesterday and the day before yesterday as well, but we did kind of almost reset everything we lost from Monday, which is great to see. Tested it and came back down. Not the prettiest candle ever, and the daily's still pointing down even though we had such a massive drop. It didn't really reset a lot of things. The weekly called this perfectly though. Look at that top out signal on the weekly. Let's check out the 8 hour here. 8 hour, oh man, the 8 hour starting to bottom out as well with that bottom indicator. So it's not looking pretty. Things can start turning up on these lower time frames to help these higher time frames, but it's kind of crazy to see that it hasn't like reset these higher time frames like I thought it would with these drops. I mean, it was a pretty massive drop, but in relative of this whole entire trend, it really isn't that much. Double top play right here, comes back down. We actually dropped on front ran the support level right here, so that kind of shows that there's some strength in the market. Overall, I am still kind of bearish on the Dow. These higher time frames are still all pointing down. I just think that this is kind of a dead cat bounce for us, and I don't really see reason why we can keep going up with Dow. S&P does look a lot better compared to the Dow. The Dow volatility has expanded on the 6 hour. But other than that, I mean, the 6 hour is starting to turn back over, and that could help this 8 and 12 hour. But overall, the trend is still down. The 8 hour looking like that's pretty miserable. It's mimicking the 12 hour practically, and the daily. It's crazy to see that. I'm trying to see if it broke my indicator. Doesn't look like it. It's just wild to see them all match like that. So yeah, you know, for the Dow, I'm not really super bullish on it. Okay, Bitcoin, the most important one of them all. So we do have high block already loaded. We're gonna go ahead and pull that up and see here. 167, 123. So this is pretty neutral. It's pretty neutral seeing that. I'm not a really big fan of that. I would have liked to see like 500 shorts or 400. You know, the dream is to see 400 to 500, 300 shorts, and hardly any long liquidations would be key. But again, we did have quite a massive amount of shorts in this area right here, and we kind of moved up and took a lot of them out. So that is okay to see. We're kind of neutral on the high block stuff, so we can't really take a position on which way the trend will go based on that. Let's look at XO charts here. Of course, it loads and then I refresh it at the worst time. So okay, this is great. This is great to see for the most part. So open interest is starting to actually tick up as price is going up. So that kind of gives us a very nice bullish trend, that kind of, you know, that building blocks that we like to see. So overall, a bullish posture on XO looking for us. So that's great to see. Shorts are starting to pick up in this previous day value area high, but not too concerned with that. Let's go ahead and jump into the chart now and see what we can find. The weekly's probably still okay. So the weekly did fake out. I did speak about that in my last video, that this could possibly fake out, and we did get the fake out and the massive brutal bloodbath following it. 48.9 is what we went all the way down to. So I don't really see anything super bullish on the weekly, but that will take some time to actually play out in the bearish posture it's at. Weekly is starting to swing fail the bottom here on Juxtapost. We do have the automatic buy signal from Juxtapost. I mean, that's a clean one. We're re-entering this order block that we have right here. Remember, if you remember in my last video, I was kind of talking about this swing fail pattern area right here, coming back in there, confirming, and then we shot up. So I'm seeing the same concept here on that. I really would like to see a swing fail this whole area and kind of see where we go from there. So now if you look at this was really crazy to see. We swung fail this right here, came back in this area. So that, I mean, that was a great, I was looking at that when we were dropping, and I was like, you know, what is a good area to get some spot buys in? And, you know, just seeing that on its own right there was pretty nice to see. But that is such a massive liquidity grab right there that we took right there. So, you know, we're pretty much bottom out on all these lower time frames. Let's go ahead and look at the 12-hour. 12 hours looking pretty darn good. Volatility expanded. We got the buy signal right there. You know, Juxtapost does not miss. It does not miss. I posted in the group yesterday that the 12-hour had stars and had a heart, a green heart. I mean, that was an instant buy for anything. You know, we had a star right here, had a nice run up right there. It wasn't much, wasn't crazy. Had a star here, wasn't much of a move. You know, practically got back to the range of the high. But these stars are pretty darn consistent. You know, this one didn't do so well. That one did well. You know, nothing's 100% right. Nothing is 100%. So this one did pretty decent. These kind of have failed. You know, the trend has been up, so these bearish postures don't play out as well. But again, the trend is your friend. With that regard, before we do drop down to these lower time frames, I do kind of want to take a look at this on a weekly time frame. So we created a lower low. Now we've created multiple lower lows and created multiple higher lows, right? It's concerning to see that from a perspective of like what you see on the chart, because when you're in a bull run, you want to see higher highs and higher lows, right? So it's kind of concerning to see that now as we sit here. But for me, I love trading liquidity zones, liquidity blocks, swing fail patterns, and I do see this being possibly a great zone right here. This is a good liquidity grab. We had that liquidity grab. Now we're off to the races, right? With a chance to hit the top again as well. So it's tough to say that this is bullish, a bullish, chart pattern right here. If you were just to say to look at this chart, because it's not. Like I said, we've created lower lows, and the highs have gotten lower as well. So that doesn't bode well for something that should be bullish. Do I think that the bullish market that we've had is quite over? I do not. I still think we have some room to run. I still do want to see a swing fail pattern of this high right here, and depending how we react to this, this could be a very big region for us. So let's move this back over here, back over this area. This could be a very important key area for us to take a position and short right back down. Seeing this come down so much is just, what are the odds of it coming back up here and actually being rejected again? They kind of diminish a bit, because we have this first test here failed, second test here failed, third test here failed. We get a fourth test, we'll possibly break out, right? Normally a fourth test is a breakout. But also at the same time, we have three tests as the low too, or even the lower low. So from a higher time frame standpoint, we have broken the bullish trend. So it is a bit concerning to see that. Anyways, 8 hours looking really good. Bullish posture for the 8 hour. I don't see a reason why we can't get back up to 60,000. I would really like to see what 60,000 brings for us, and then we could go from there. See kind of what this area right here brings us. More so the higher end of this would be kind of a key area I would look for, to kind of see if the chart has shifted a bit more to a short standpoint, kind of like what I said earlier in my video, that this would be kind of a good area to see how we react and possibly put in another short position, just as a psychological level for us to play off of. But if we blow through this, come up here, come back down, test this area, and then go back up, I won't be looking to short that. If there's some massive volatility in this region right here, I'll be playing that as a short area. Hopefully it holds out as a short area, or as a support area, and then we move up further higher. So yeah, but the lower time frames are looking pretty bullish. I'm still really bullish on this. I don't see a reason why we can't. We do have a 2 hour bearish divergence that's about to form. So if we do, we could come back down, test the lows here, swing fail this 55,500 area, and then off to the races again. But overall, it's looking really healthy for me, and I have no reason to close out my new long position of that. But yeah, I am bullish on Bitcoin for the time being, and I will hold stance to it. I do want to see how 60,000 does, and then we'll go from there and really see what the markets give us, right? If we go higher or if we test back to the lows. I do hope that we do get higher. I do want to see some more growth in Bitcoin. I do want to see an all-time high. But at the same time, the weekly still is pointing down. The weekly still holding us down. So any opportunity to get a swing fail the high, I will be looking to short that position until there's some conviction of not being able to short it, right? So, but that is it for me. Hopefully this video isn't super long. I try to keep it short. I hope everybody has a great day. I hope you have a good evening or a good afternoon wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Promo code is in the description. Remember, if you purchase a membership with us, I will be giving out free merchandise, and we'll be revealing that soon enough. So, from me to you, peace and love. I do want to do a quick, I do want to show you guys the indicator update that's going to be dropping soon here. If it allows me to open these other... Let's see. Here it is. Okay. So I will be pushing this update right here. We're going to have enhanced session interest levels. So you'll track daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly opens. This kind of was in the last one, but the labeling is a lot better. It's a lot cleaner. Let me go ahead and pull up Nexus here and drop off these other ones, or we'll hide them. And then we'll just hide the drawings. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. This is fixed in the one that's released. This actually is fixed, but there's two different fib levels here. One of 618, 0.5, and then the 318, and then high to low, low to high, right? So it shows both the values there. And then just this looks a lot cleaner than the old one. Let me drop on the old one real quick. If it loads, right? Boy, it's taking forever. There we go. Right here. So this is the one that's actually released right now, which I haven't pushed. I haven't pushed an update for this in almost 2 years. Nexus has kind of just been lacking. There really isn't much for me to put on there. But now I do have a little bit more info for it and can put more stuff on it. So it is kind of helpful. So yeah, so this is how it used to look. Kind of just not very clean. I feel like the new one is just much better, much cleaner. A couple newer values. We have all these D-open, weekly open, monthly open, yearly open, and then point of interest, weekly, monthly, etc. And then some VWAPs with color bands, and then our Fibonacci, which the next Nexus update will have this more advanced Fibonacci items. I just couldn't push that in time for this update, and then TradingView kind of wanted to take their time in approving it, so I probably could have with how long it took them to actually approve it. But yeah, so this is the old one, what everybody has right now, and then the new one is this right here, which I think just looks much more cleaner. It has a couple more items. It kind of combines labels. It combines weekly open and daily open if they're together. It combines all these labels really nicely, and just looks visually better, which is always great to see. But yeah, so, you know, go back here. So we have the advanced point of interest, point of interest labeling with all the different labels that I kind of just spoke about a moment. Dynamic VWAP integration, so monitor VWAP for daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly timeframes. Comprehensive Fibonacci levels, MPOC tracking. So if there's no MPOC, then it doesn't show it at all. But if there is MPOC, then it will actually show it. And then I made, you know, a couple improvements and just overall fixes to the indicator itself. So I'm looking really forward to giving this to the group. I hope you guys enjoy this indicator and the work that I've put into it, and to look forward to the next update for the indicator, which should be out pretty soon. I'm hoping by next week, which should pretty much complete all the Nexus updates that I wanted to do. I am going to add like a liquidity bubble update to it. That should really kind of give it some spunk and some help to pick spots to take positions in more better. It's going to kind of mimic Exo's charts and how the liquidities are grabbed from there. So I'm really looking forward to having that added and added in here and just working and functioning 100% for everybody. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and take care, all right? Peace.
So Defcon, who is ready for some brand new music?
Tell me the stories left unwritten. Take me to places left unknown. Show me the world and all its colors in between. Until we got nowhere.
Wild Styles, Sound Rush.
'Cause in the variants, we'll risk it all. Oh, in the variants, we'll rule the world. We're new horizons, we're great to fall. 'Cause in the variants, it all falls. It all falls.
Hands up in the air.
big boss. Give it up for DJ Wallstars.
Control, Alt, Delete.